I just tried recording this video, only for the footage to get corrupted. Great start. Hey guys, it's Archetype. It's also been a while. 4 years since I last uploaded? Jesus Christ, on a Christmas tree. Holy shit. Alright, I know I've been gone for a while, but I'll explain it, all of it, like, here in this video. I had an intro planned for this, and I kind of fumbled it, and I just can't be bothered with the whole video footage getting corrupted kind of thing. Like, I can't be bothered anymore. This is your intro. This is your intro. How you doing, guys? Now, this video kind of has, like, two purposes, right? First off, this video is here to let people know that, like, hi, I'm alive. I'm here. I'm still, like, living the best life I can live, or at least trying to. But I'm still here. I'm breathing. I didn't fall off a cliff. I didn't die or anything. I just been busy. And the other purpose is to kind of, like, make some form of commitment for myself, right? But I'll get to that later, okay? Now, first off, some of you are probably wondering what's been happening the past 4 years or so let me recap some stuff. And if you don't know who I am, I should probably recap that too. So, hi, I'm Logan. I am, well, I guess formerly an active YouTuber who, tried to make consistent gameplay videos, tried to make YouTube a career. Not allegedly, but alas, it didn't work out. I guess maybe allegedly it didn't work out. Who knows? Maybe this video will age badly. I started making YouTube videos when I was really young. I think about like either 10 or 12 is when I started making videos. Let me double check. Okay, I was only slightly off. I just checked. I was 13 years old when I made my first ever video. How about that? So when I first started making YouTube videos, my main goal was to, try and hit it big, become the next, like, dance EDM, next popular MMOs, the next big hitter on YouTube, right? And of course, idiot baby me didn't realize how intricate it would be. There would be things like, subscriber requirements and, camera setups and editing and all this other stuff and all this other hubble-a-hoo or whatever it's called. And yeah, I just got burnt out over the end. Like, I could not be bothered. Now, looking back, when I, see all the stuff I've done with YouTube, it's, like, really weird because I didn't really like YouTube when I actually got into it, and there were multiple things I was unhappy with, but if I had to do it all again, I probably would. I know it's not, like, a novel feeling. It's not like, whoa, he doesn't like it, but he doesn't regret doing it. Wow, wowzers, who could have seen that coming? But it's still, the feeling all the same is, like, it's super weird because without YouTube, I would not have I would not have learned the lessons that I did. I would not have made the friends that I did, and I would not have grown up the way I have. I would not have matured the way I did, which really makes me think that, like, YouTube truly was the catalyst for me to, flourish into myself. So yeah, I guess, like, if I had to do it all again, then I would. That's like a whole different thing right now. That's in the past. That was 4 years ago. That was way back when. Nowadays, nowadays is kind of whack. First up, college. College is whack. Have you heard of college? You know how whack college is? It's whack. So when I first went into college, I majored in media, and I'm pretty sure like I had a focus in like production or something. So that's like, making movies and entertainment and TV shows and stuff. On today's episode of Archetype Screws Up His YouTube Video Again. And I definitely feel like I still have like that charm and like that drive to do things related to media because it truly is like an interesting like space. Media is like social media, like visual media, and other forms of like online entertainment. The internet's just wild, dude. But when I was majoring in media, like during the height of my like media, I guess major career, whatever you want to call it, college career, I finally got into some classes regarding like cameras and audio studios. I saw the first film camera, I saw the first audio studio, and my lizard brain basically just grabbed me by the scruff and was like, this is scary, you're not meant for this, GTFO! And so I was like, whoa, yep, I'm not doing this, I'm done, I'm gone, you cannot convince me, I'm out. Like, looking back on it, it was kind of like a tantrum that I basically threw. At the ripe old age of like 19 years old, I'm pretty sure, is when all that happened. So yeah, I eventually switched to criminal justice, which, honestly, God, it's depressing. Now, I know, like, when most people think of criminal justice, they usually think of, like, police officers and, like, FBI, ATF, federal organizations, and state organizations. Like, police cars and stuff, cloakers from Payday 2. And yeah, for the most part, it is kind of just that, but a bit more, formal. No cloakers from Payday 2. We're not doing that. And not only was it like really, yeah, now that I look at it, not only was it like kind of boring, it was also just really sad and lifeless. I don't like not all of it was lifeless, right? Like there were still some parts of criminal justice that I really, really did enjoy. But there was like a noticeable difference. When I was in media, I would be walking down hallways through like the media departments, or like the College of Media's building, and people were so like full of life, working on their computers, smiling during their projects, doing what they wanted to do. And then I go into like the criminal justice's portion of a building. It didn't even have its own building, its own portion of a building, and the students there just looked like obviously they were chatting and stuff, but like they looked almost like like all the emotion had been drained out of them, like they'd seen the horrors and already coped with them. They looked like a TV character stereotype. It was just sad, and yeah, now I quickly found out why. It is sad. In criminal justice, you see a lot of like really effed up stuff. I don't know why I'm like censoring myself. I'm not trying to avoid the censorship thing anymore. The world of criminal justice is fucked up. There we go. I've said my swear word. I'm not gonna get flagged by cop anymore. But I say that partially with jest, but it's kind of true, because criminal justice was really just, it wasn't, I don't want to say boring, but it really just felt like, emotionally draining. Like you stopped feeling after a little while, and I really didn't like that. Yet somehow I still graduated with a bachelor's in criminal justice, so, maybe that says something about me. So yeah, I graduated with a bachelor in criminal justice and criminology, but I did still have 2 minors. First off, I had a minor in media, just because, like, I had already taken the classes for media, so I might as well just get an associate's degree for it, because why the hell not? And I also had a minor in creative writing. I know that probably doesn't surprise a lot of people, but, writing to me has always been, like, I guess part of my bread and butter, because I've really loved, like, storytelling and stuff like that. And we'll get into a little bit more of that, like, later, but it's just something that I'm surprised I didn't notice it sooner. So graduating with a minor in creative writing, that's like, it's not assurance, but it does help. Anyways, now we move on to now. So where am I now? You probably noticed, like, I mean that both like figuratively and literally, because like, what is this? Where am I? Who am I? What am I? Okay, maybe not those last two, but alas. I have my own location with which I reside. I have my own condo now that I take residence in. I'm no longer in my parents' basement. I'm no longer based out of my mother's office. But of course, like, I still gotta thank my parents, because they're still paying for all of this, and holy crap, this place is nice, and I seriously cannot thank them enough for, covering the expenses for it. It really, truly and utterly means the world to me. Holy shit. And yeah, for the past few months, I've kind of just been, like, kind of herded or, like, bumbling around, kind of just, I guess, I don't know, avoiding reality, which really sucks. Like, both me avoiding reality sucks, but also reality kind of sucks, I'm gonna be honest. Especially nowadays. Everything is slop, everything is corrupt, everything is thumbs down, and I don't like it. Boo. But of course, I'm learning how to make the best of it, and part of that is me finally figuring out what do I love the most, and what I love the most is writing. I love writing. And so I'm finally, hopefully, getting off my ass, and I'm going to start writing again, because that's something I've been slacking on quite a bit, and I really need to get back to the gist of it, because at my heart, I am a storyteller, and I love writing stories and presenting those stories to people, even if it's just like something simple, like a random-ass like AU that I write for a game, or like an actual intricate original story, because no matter what, writing is, it is truly not only my favorite thing to do, but it's also, in my opinion, the best way to bring people together is through storytelling. Here's a hint: you can really tell I like this topic because I'm stuttering a lot. Now, obviously, this isn't the first time I've been writing. I've been writing longer than I've been doing YouTube. I've been writing, like, I was like one of the cavemen back then, writing on the cave paintings and walls and stuff. Like, I love writing. But it's something that I really put on the back burner because I never saw, like, a way to make a proper career out of it until very, very recently, which I feel silly for not seeing it sooner, of just, like, writing stories and then eventually publishing them, like, one of these days for people to see. Like, obviously, but there's, like, mini stories, but, like, I do think I could possibly write a book. In fact, you know what? No, that is what I'm going to try and do. I've had several stories cooking up here for a while, and I do want to, put them out into the world, and, one of these days, hopefully I can make that happen. God, I just reminded myself of the my old DeviantArt page. How many of you remember that? Honestly, that's a good point. Like, what do I do with legacy content? That's something I'll have to think about. For DeviantArt, I'm probably gonna keep all my stories like up because there's still things I care deeply about, even though like all of it's been it's way out of date. Half the characters I don't even use anymore. They're all the way over in the old toy box now. But it still matters to me because that's something I came up with, and I love creating things. I love writing stories about things like. It's all about that, just making things that mean a lot to me. And that's what I've been doing, and that's what I need to return to doing. And so, that being said, this channel's kind of a commitment. Basically, I'm making this video not only to, let you guys know what I've been doing and what I'm wanting to do, it's also to remind myself, like, hey, you told everyone you were gonna do this, you should probably fucking do it. And so that is primarily the entire point of this video, just to remind myself, saying like, "Hey, you're reminded. You need to lock in, buddy. You need to do this. You need to do this." And hopefully one day, with the encouragement from this video, plus encouragement from everywhere else in my life, I can hopefully go back to properly writing stories and eventually write my own book, maybe multiple books. Who knows? I've had so many ideas cooking up for so long that I want to I want to get on it. But that is a long-term goal. So for myself, this is for you, Mr. Archetype, or Logan, if that is your real name. My objectives are to, A, get a job. Just preferably like a job that I enjoy, but just get a job. Get some form of money going. And 2, start writing more. Just seriously start writing more. And put it out there for the people to see. I need to figure out, like, where I'm gonna put it. DeviantArt is such a AI slop fest now that I can't be bothered. I'm gonna try and see like where I could put other stories. So yeah, it's something I seriously got to look into. And honestly, that's point number 3. Look into things more. Do research. Put yourself out there more. Just see what you can figure out. That is how you succeed. And I'm like, and this isn't just advice from me, right? That's just some advice for like in general. You got to put yourself out there. You got to go out into the world and go out of your way to figure things out. Knowledge isn't just gonna come towards you. Every single time like I've gotten like a shooting star or a birthday wish, I've wished for either like shape-shifting, immortality, murder drones to be real, something like that. But no, we're no more birthday wishes, no more nothing. If I want something, I gotta go and grab it. Now obviously I'm not saying I'm gonna go out there and just like write shape-shifting into existence, right? But I've gotta, I have to go out there and make my life actually worth living. I mean, obviously, life's worth living no matter what, but I've got to make it worthwhile, right? And part of that is just going out there, figuring out what I can do. How do I do things? If I want something. Like this whole writing thing, this is the only reason I know why I love writing so much is because I tried it, because I stuck with it, because I've tried some other stuff and said, this doesn't tickle my fancy. That's kind of cool, but not really for me. Writing, that's the ticket right there, Buster. So, yeah, those are my 3 things that this video is going to make me try to commit to do. I am going to get a job, I need to start writing more, and I need to put myself out there. Those are my 3 commitments that I need to be working on starting now. Yeah, and with that commitment, I'm going to go put myself out there. Bye, guys. Ah, my headset's cabled. Fuck. I really hope they didn't break any audio services or anything like that. Yeah, I think it's good. Anyways. So yeah, that's basically the reason why I'm making this video, is to make sure I commit to something. I've been kind of slacking off and half finishing things and only going halfway on things for so long. I need to finish something. I need to reach the end of the line. I don't care if I come in first or last. I need to complete something. That is basically the main reason why I'm making this video in the first place. As for the rest of this channel, that remains to be seen, honestly. Kind of circling back to legacy content, all my old stuff from like, the days of Spider-Meister 23, I'm not sure what to do with it. I will be thinking about it for quite a bit, but actually, you know what? No, I already have the solution. Basically, any legacy content, which is like, Spider-Meister 23 era, that's all going to go in its own separate playlist. I think they're going to be unlisted, but it's going to go in its own separate playlist that you go into the playlist, you can view that legacy content if you want, but that content's no longer going to be representative of who I am. But it's still stuff I want to preserve for history. So if you want to see it, you can, but it's just a way to let people know it's not who I am anymore. I've moved past that. As for future content and what's going to happen going forward, frankly, for this YouTube channel, I don't know. This video was kind of just made on a whim. Actually, I guess this is the point where I can refer to you guys. You guys can absolutely let me know your thoughts, your comments, criticisms, good jokes in the comments. Just let me know what you think, maybe what I should do. And yeah, hey, who knows? Maybe eventually we'll get like me reacting to your comments or a Q&A video or something like that. That would be kind of fun to do again. Last time I did Q&A video, it was actually very fun. I enjoyed that quite a bit. So yeah, I didn't prepare an outro either. Great, awesome. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Like, once again, this is just a video for me to commit to just put it out there and just say, hey, you need to get this done. And obviously, who knows? Everything could change. Maybe I won't get a job. I will get like a proper career somewhere else with my criminal justice degree. Maybe I won't be writing. Maybe I'll get into something like art or, game development or something like that. And maybe, just maybe, one of these days, one of my birthday wishes will come true and I'll get shape-shifting. Dude, do you know how cool it would be if you could just shape-shift into like a helicopter and fly to work every day? That would be so sick. But anyways, I've been ranting for way too long at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here. So, yeah, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to, again, thank every single one of you so much for sticking with the Archetype YouTube channel for all these years. I hope maybe you'll continue to stick with it for, as long as you can. But yeah, this is mainly just a way for me to say, hey, I'm alive, I'm still here, and these are the things I'm going to try and commit to for my future. So yeah, once again, thank you all so much for literally everything, and yeah, I see you all in the future, and hopefully not for the last time. Have a good day.